Hi, my name is Sherry, and I am the co-founder of Peak. We're an AI-powered personal finance platform that helps you track, manage, and grow your net worth. Today, I'm going to talk about how you can build your wealth early in your career. So, one of the concepts that is really important to understand within personal finance is the idea of compounding, which means that the rate of return that you're earning on your savings actually compounds the growth over time. So the efforts that you have towards saving early on in your career actually have an outsized impact on your savings overall in your life. So there's actually a study that showed that if you started saving in your first 11 years of your career and then stopped saving from that point on until retirement, you actually ended up saving more than somebody who did no savings from your first 11 years of working and then did it from 11 until the day you retired. So compounding is a very important concept. So that's why if you are aiming to reach a certain FI number, financial independence number, it's quite important to follow a few tips if you're early on in your career when it comes to investing. The first one is invest often. So a lot of times people might have some hesitancy getting into the markets because they feel like they need to get in at the right time, right? Right now the S&P 500 feels high. Maybe it's not the right point to get in. Maybe it'll go down more. So there's this fear of not timing the market right or coming in at the wrong moment. But what I will tell you is this. Investing often or just having time in market is way more important than timing the market. So when you do have some savings that you got from, your paycheck minus expenses left over, make sure that you invest that instead of having it sit around in cash. That money is not actually producing any returns and is in fact losing itself every single year to inflation, which can range, between 3%, sometimes 4%, depending on the country that you were in. So it's important to just put money in the market. And if you are concerned about picking the right stocks because you are early on in your journey, there are things called index funds, or sometimes called ETFs, that are a basket of many different stocks, are a diversified representation of the overall market. So look into researching some ETFs and just start investing into some of them. The second thing that I will say is maximize your earning potential. Now, I know this one will sound a little bit obvious, right? Go try to, make as much money as you can. But really it's about finding the opportunities where you can give yourself the most amount of upside. So one thing that I know a lot of people did to kind of jumpstart their savings as well as their careers is actually work for companies that gave stock-based compensation. So this is compensation that comes from an ownership share in the company. So if it's a public company, there's stocks. Private ones are also stocks, but they're private, so you have less opportunity to sell them. But these are the places where you can actually get outsized returns beyond just your cash or base earnings. So find the opportunities where you can earn a decent amount in cash as well, but also have some of these equity ownership opportunities. So that's another place where you can, look into to, build your wealth or accelerate building your wealth early on in your career. The third one is take some calculated risk. Now, risk is a tricky topic because people don't like to lose, right? I think in general, behavioral psychology dictates that people are a lot more risk averse than they are kind of, benefit seeking in some way. So we try to avoid losing. We're loss averse and we're not as gain seeking, right? So, but when it comes to investments, oftentimes it is a linear curve where higher the risk, the more return you actually get. So there's a chance, of course, for some of the growth opportunities like investing in Tesla or investing into tech stocks that can at certain months, right, actually lose you money, which I think is what a lot of people are afraid of. But it's actually taking some of these risks that give you the ability to earn outsized returns in your portfolio, even beyond potentially the market. Now, taking risks the right way is the part that many people have to learn. You do not want to put 50% of your portfolio into something that has volatility, right? That can affect how much your net worth is in any given year, and having that lack of consistency might not be good, right? It's about figuring out what money you are willing to lose or you do not need right away for paying your bills or paying other expenses, and then take a small amount and put it into something that might be a little bit riskier, right? Even if it's 1% or 5%, pick a number that works for you. This might not be for everybody. Some people don't want to take any risk at all. What you are ultimately trading off potentially is the opportunity to earn higher returns, right? And I think that is okay, but I'm just giving you some thoughts around how you can accelerate that wealth growth, and that does come from taking risks. And so that brings me to my final point, which is go where the growth is, right? This is actually advice that my mother has told me, because she's been through now .com. She's been through the boom of tech in the post 08 era, and then also now in the current AI boom, right, post 2021. And she said that you've got to look where industries are growing, right? You do not want to invest in an industry that is stagnating or dying, right, or at the tail end of its adoption cycle. You want to find the places that you can see a vision for how it can actually grow in the next 10, 20 years. And if you're not sure exactly which companies to bet in, you can also just pick the biggest ones by market cap, or the ones that everybody knows. So those are some of my tips around how you can build wealth early on in your career. Invest often, maximize your earning potential, take some calculated risks, and go where the growth is.